Bulldog, alert! Someone slipped a handwritten note containing a racist threat under the door of a student's residence hall room. Because for years I was made to feel ashamed of them. I'll shout it to the sky until my voice falters, until it shatters and breaks. Black and brown bodies are not a commodity. Black and brown bodies are not a currency. We are not leaving. Say it with me. We are not leaving. We are not leaving. We are not leaving. And still, we'll sing on. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose.
Come on!
Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too.
So my experience with racism at Drake University kind of started before I got here. One of my mentors, one of the people that kind of encouraged me to come to Drake, was telling me about her experience with one of the fraternities on campus. And just coming to school, I was kind of discouraged from going to different sorority and fraternity events because of the history. And as time went on, I definitely learned the ropes and learned who and who not to trust. There's good and bad in everyone, and that's just situations as a whole. It's just race has always been something that I've always embraced, but being here is more like my race is something that really sets me aside, and doesn't set me aside in a good way. It sets me aside in a bad way. Someone's always looking at me as less than, or looking at me as like a victim, or just a million other things in the world just because of the color of my skin. And I came here for an education. I came here to empower my community. I came here to better not only myself but the world around me. But it always seems that my race is always something that kind of hinders me, or sets me aside, or keeps me excluded, or keeps me, being not as important as everyone else. This is just the most heinous of all of the events that happened, because it wasn't just about, race. It was deeper than hate. It was very violent in nature. The verbiage that they use, the different words that they use came from a very violent time in our history where Black people, even just to go to the movies was a danger for you. And just using that same type of vocabulary, and then even threatening it's just I don't know, it was just so beyond me. I couldn't even believe that someone would take it to that extent to threaten another student. I just don't really understand it.
People would ask or say, I'm afraid to walk to my my classes now because I don't know who's going to be standing behind me. I don't know who's going to be in the same classroom with me, or if that person that wrote this note is going to be sitting right next to me or in front of me. And just the fear and the stress and the anger that we all had built up inside us just sparked every single movement that we had forward.
It really started in English class when it was just kind of a joke that we should paint it street black. And a few of us, two of us, we said actually we should do that. So when the students of color had a meeting to voice their frustration and their emotion towards what happened with the note.
The Painted Black movement, again, really helps us to kind of rethink, bring the focus back into unity and solidarity. And what does it really mean as a student at Drake? How can you actually contribute to these things?
The color black, we wanted to make sure it just wasn't to represent Black students, because all students of color do face oppression.
I have been incredibly pleased and empowered and hopeful about the campus reaction, first and foremost students of color, and the way students have, once again, as they have often done in the years I've been here, organized, been stood together, been really clear about their experiences here.
We are here for each other. We are here for our students of color, because
us. Drake needs their students of color here.
But how long does it take? How long does damage get to break the city that I grew up in? The campus that I pay money to?
I go up there, I did speak. Painted Black went up there and we spoke as well, but we needed to show that this is terrible. The fact that to show that they don't think anything's gonna change, that should be a sign right there.
It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. We are here today as a community because we embrace those differences. And we say no to white supremacy. The Painted Black movement is, of course, a very monumental, event in many, many ways. And I really admire the effort of students to really push through and push through for solidarity and unity, all right, around these issues, because this is not the first time something like this has happened.
If we had a community where everybody supported each other, if we had a community when people didn't only show up when bad stuff happened, people wouldn't have to do stuff like this, because we would be tolerant of each other. We would be understanding. We would be respectful of other people's views.
Malia Williams and Deshauna Carter said it best. People wanted speakers to go up there and sugarcoat it, and that's going to continue the institutional racism.
The reality is, my life on this campus that I pay to go to, that I've stayed up all night to make sure I stayed enrolled in, my life's in danger here. And that's not okay. But it does not stop here. This movement, this push for equality and diversification and equity and inclusion, it doesn't stop here at Drake. It starts at your dinner tables. It starts, in the locker room, at your parties. It starts everywhere.
Some people did not want this to happen. They said that Painted Street was something of Drake. But are people of color not something of Drake as well? Colors on this pavement doesn't mean anything. Us painting this black doesn't mean anything if there isn't a true meaning behind it.
Because we will be able to show as an institution how we can work towards institutional anti-racism. It does not matter what organization you're a part of, we can all have a hand in this, we can all do this. So, with that, folks, begin painting the street.
Black and brown bodies are not a commodity. Black and brown bodies are not a currency. We are not leaving. Say it with me. We are not leaving. We are not leaving. We are not leaving. And still, we'll sing on.